Hi Flosstube friends, thank you for joining me today. Welcome to my channel. I want to say first thank you to everyone who has watched my first video, who's commented and subscribed, and for such a wonderful warm welcome to this community. I really appreciate it. I enjoy watching all of your videos and thank you for watching mine. I thought today I would share with you my March update, show you my works in progress, talk a little bit about my April plans, and maybe show you a small bit of haul. So let's get on to the whips. Well, sadly first, I have no finishes for March, which is unusual for me, but the reason I have no finishes is because I focused a lot on my Heaven and Earth design. And who knows when that will be finished. I think it's creating anxiety for me because I know it's going to take so long to finish, and I've done calculations of, okay, if I stitch 200 stitches a day, I'll finish it in 8 months. And then that kind of, like, if I don't stitch 200 stitches a day, then I'm like, oh, it's going to take me longer. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But without further ado, the pattern that I selected is called a mini. It's a mini, and it's a real snow job by Jane Worcester Scott. And I'm in confetti hell. Let me just say that. There's very little that's not confetti. Even the snow is confetti between white and 762. It's just a constant switch. So this is what it's going to look like when I eventually get it finished. I did have a page finish this month. I had finished page 1 in January, and then finished page 5 and page 9 in March. And I've started on the second page here. So as you can tell, the trees especially, the small trees and the large trees are just total confetti. And I'm stitching this on 25 count Magic Guide 1/1. Get those out of your way. So I try to stitch on that, like I said, every day. Then my next project is another large project. It's a restart. I had started this originally in a sow with on Cross Stitch and Discuss, and I didn't like the fabric, so I switched. I'm now stitching on 32 count linen, and it's called And a Forest Grew by Rosewood Manor, and this is what it will look like when it is completed. I saw a model of this stitched up at a Dying to Stitch in Virginia Beach, and I had to have it. And that was about 5 or 6 years ago. So I'm happy that I finally started it. So let me show you my progress. And like I said, this is stitched on 32 count linen. Let's see if I can stand up this one. I've decided, in an effort to make progress on it, I'm going to stitch at least 1 tree a day. And my needle minder, I made that. I bought the little bunny from Hobby Lobby. And I'm just using the call for DMC threads and 32 count linen 1/2. So there we are with A Forest Grew. It's coming along slowly. I'm not really in a huge hurry to finish that because I kind of consider each little tree a mini finish. At least that's what I'm telling myself anyway. I had a new start this month. Sorry. It is a reproduction sampler by Handworks Samplers called the 1803 Judith Townsend Sampler. And the photo really does not do it justice. It is very vibrant colors. And I'm stitching this one on 28 count Jobelin 2/2. And I love the brightness of these colors. And my needle minder I actually picked up at my local yarn shop. I haven't made a lot of progress on this, but I am enjoying it. Then my next, because I have the two rather large projects, and the last one I showed is kind of a medium-sized project, I decided that I needed a couple of small projects. So I can't for the life of me find my original copy of this. I have my working copy, but get a picture up here for you. It's called Black Willow Farm, and it's by Carriage House Sampling. So get the glare off of that. That's worse. Anyway, this is how far I've come on it. And I'm just stitching this on a scrap of 36 count Edinburgh that I had in my stash, and stitching it with the DMC floss. And that is 1/2. It's a fun, easy little stitch. And again, I made my needle minder on this one. And then lastly, I joined a kit club through Country Stitches a few years ago, and this is one of the kits that was in that club. It's called Old Witch Mary by Lori Brecken from Not Forgotten Farm, and I am stitching it on the fabric that came with it, which is 30 count Old Farmhouse linen, and with Gentle Art sampler threads. Well, it's just one color, Raven. And I haven't really gotten very far on this one either. Sorry for all the wrinkles. But it's kind of mindless, one color, easy to take along in the car. And my needle minder on this one is from Winton Junction. She has an Etsy shop. So that wraps it up for my my whips. My plans for April, I think, are just to continue at the moment with my Heaven and Earth design and my forest, and probably also with my sampler, my reproduction sampler, because I just started this and I'm really enjoying it. But I also have a couple that I'm considering starting. I've had this one in my stash for a good long while, and it's from the book Blackbird Designs. Thank you, Sarah Tobias. And I got this again when I lived in Virginia, and my local needlework shop was dying to stitch. I had originally planned to stitch Sarah Tobias's needle book, and this is what it looks like on the outside, and this is the inside. But after thinking about it, I would never use this as a needle book. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stitch it all in one, as one piece, and frame it. And I did purchase all of the Crescent Colors floss that go with it, and the recommended fabric, which is probably R&R Productions. I think that's what Dying to Stitch has, and it's an espresso 30 count. So I don't know if I'm ready to take on another fairly large project or not, but if I do, that will be the one that I don't know. Because here's my haul. And I don't often have haul because I have such a huge stash, but when I saw this, it was like, I have to have that. And you know, when you're on 1, 2, 3 stitch and you see it and you don't read everything about it, and then when you receive it, you read it and you're like, oh my goodness. It's by Heartstrings Samplery. His eye is on the sparrow. It's beautiful, but it is ginormous. It is 435 by 363. And she used Picture This Plus 28 count doublon with 1 thread over 2. So it's going to be huge. And I don't have the fabric yet, but I did order all the floss, which is a combination of the Gentle Art sampler threads and Weeks Dye Works. So I have all those. I just don't have the fabric because it's going to be expensive, but it's beautiful. So I don't know, temptation may better get the better of me. And my other haul, my other small haul, and I got this from the Cottage Needle from Etsy, and it's called Mary 2 by Plum Street Samplers. And I don't know, I was drawn to it. So that's it for my progress and my tiny little haul. I also wanted to share with you today, I've been stitching for so long that the tools that I use just come natural to me, and I don't think about, oh, maybe someone else could use this information. But I thought with each of my videos I would try to share a tool that I use, and this one isn't kind of odd. It is mascara tester. So what I use this for is if I have to frog, and you know sometimes you get those little bits left in the fabric, and if you just take this and you know gently rub on it, it picks up all the extra little bits of floss. If you go to Sephora or Ulta, they have them there. They'll give you one for free, and it's just a nice little tool to have in your toolbox. So that's it for my video today. Thank you again for watching and for all your lovely comments, and I look forward to watching your videos. Bye for now.